Bolt catch doesn't work that great. Interesting. All right, so not trying to shit talk the gun by any means. You can see that I still have my phone mount attached to the stock here. Let me just drop that and get it out of the way. You can also see the gun did not go into battery. So it started running a little slow there. I have maybe 500 rounds to this gun. It's not crazy cold out here this morning. I mean, it's cold, but not crazy cold for Idaho. So I'm gonna break it open, throw some oil in it, wipe it off a little bit. See if I can figure out what's going on, why it's running so sluggish. Hey, it's Matt, and I am out here today at the range with a brand new B&T APC223 Pro factory SBR. It's a 10-3 barrel, 5.56 chambered gun, or 223. It is a short stroke gas piston gun, very light, and very expensive. Before we get into this too far, I do need to thank my channel sponsors. Boise Black Rifle has been the longest running channel sponsor to ACOPS here. They do a lot to help this channel run, including, in this case, they supplied me quite a bit of ammo for this thing. Big thank you to Boise Black Rifle. The newest channel sponsor, Wasson Watch Company, the watch company that knows what time it is. Wasson Watch Company is a Texas-based, veteran-owned company that is about as pro-2A, pro-America as I am. So I am very happy to be partnered with them. And thankfully, it doesn't violate the rules here on YouTube for me to give you a discount code to buy a watch. 2ACOPS is your discount code. It'll get you 10% off on a Wasson watch. And last but not least is Aegis Gun Care. I use their fluids for cleaning and lubing guns, and I am very much looking forward to doing a review here very shortly of their new suppressor cleaning system. If you own suppressors, you know how much of a pain they can be to clean. Aegis Gun Care's new cleaning system will make your life easy. So, all right, that's it for the sponsors. Let's get back to the gun. All right, put a lot of rounds through this thing now. Probably about 1,000 rounds through it. And it shoots really nice, but it is not flawless. Let's go back to the garage and we'll talk about it there. Okay, home from the range, ate lunch, now it's time to talk. Today, I had this gun out there. And yesterday and last weekend. This is a B&T APC223 Pro factory SBR. APC in that stands for Advanced Police Carbine. This thing was not designed for military use. It was designed from the get-go to be a police rifle, no matter what the barrel length is. This one is the short version. This would make a fantastic patrol gun with a suppressor on it. because that thing will fit in your car. It's small enough, short enough that you can maneuver it in the car and use it. You can get it up and shoulder it and not be hitting your windshield. Obviously, if you had to go out the side window, you could get, once you're out, you could shoulder it as well. The only thing I changed on this gun was the pistol grip. I like the Kung Fu's. I threw one on there. It's an AR compatible pistol grip. And unlike ARs, the safety selector spring is not in the grip. So it's even more simple than an AR to change the grip. Beyond changing that, everything else about this gun is stock. It does have a suppressor on it currently. This is an Exigent Defense Fire Team 556. It's a moderately low back pressure suppressor that is stupidly quiet. You will notice in some of the video here, I'm shooting it without even having ears on. That's how quiet this thing is. No ringing of your ears, no pressure, no nothing. It's crazy. Beyond that, the gun is bone stock, other than I've added a light and an optic to it. These are the factory folding irons that were provided by B&T in the bag with the gun. Haven't messed with any of the internals. So let's talk about my thoughts here. The gun shoots very soft. I really like the recoil impulse. It is a very lightweight gun, unless you put a suppressor on the end of the barrel. I like the way the stock folds. I like the feel of the stock in my shoulder. I like the fact that it has an adjustable cheek riser, so if I wanted to run a taller optic, I could move that up very easily. What I don't like about the stock is the method to adjust the length of pull. It takes two hands. I can't just reach up, hit the buttons, and pull back. I have to physically, the buttons don't move. The rest of the stock does, so I have to use two hands to get it. B&T guys, which I found this out because my 308 Jackal has a B&T stock on it, and the B&T people were telling me you just yank it open, which you can do. Problem is, I don't want it all the way open. So then I have to bring it back 2 notches, which is where I want it. Again, not a fan of that. Again, recoil impulse, super soft, gun's light. I have no problem running the selector. The mag release, especially on the right side, is very soft. The left side a little bit stiffer, but it's usable. The bolt catch. Let's talk about the bolt catch. The bolt catch sucks. I like its placement, and I like the idea, pushing down, but okay, I cannot move that bolt catch with one finger. I have to use my thumb on one side and my trigger finger on the other side to drop the bolt. Either that or reach up and hit the charging handle, which is less than ideal. I should be able to throw a bolt in and smack the bolt catch to drop the bolt. Potentially, there might be a problem with mine. I'm gonna have to pull it apart and look. If, for that matter, I may even send it into B&T to see if they can fix that. Aside from the bolt catch, my only other criticism is gonna be the trigger. I wouldn't call it a complaint, I would call it a criticism. Initially, when I was going to shoot this gun, I hated the trigger. It has a let me just do it right here on camera. Drop the bolt. Can't drop the bolt. All right, so if you look right here, a little bit of free play, it's like a 2-stage, and then you got a nice, short, crisp break. I like that. That's great. What I don't like is this part. It's got the longest reset. It's ridiculously long. So I'm used to 2-stage triggers. I'm used to single-stage triggers on ARs and lots of other guns for that matter. This has got a very, very long reset, and it basically has to come all the way out before it resets, which initially was making it so that I could not run the gun fast. I kept getting, I wasn't going to full reset. I was trying to run the gun fast, and I was short stroking the trigger. So once I've got probably 500 rounds on the gun, I had it acclimated to the trigger and I could run it faster. Still, it could use a better trigger. Gun, the price of this gun, it could definitely come with a better trigger. So I do like the gas system settings. It's easy enough to get to. The knob has not locked up on me at all. At the range, it does get hot, so I used a tool, which you could use a bullet tip, or I ended up using a screwdriver to adjust it. So it's got suppressed, unsuppressed, and then adverse. So if the gun's starting to get dirty and running slow, you've got adverse. Speaking of adverse, so when I was running this gun through the shoot house, I ended up having a couple of issues. And at one point, the gun just wouldn't even go into battery. Put in a fresh mag, dropped the bolt, and it went 3/4 of the way into battery. So it was sitting about like that. It just would not go all the way into battery. I stopped trying to run the gun because it was just running really sluggish. At that point, it had had about 500 rounds through it. I had not cleaned it. I still haven't cleaned it. But what I did do is I took the gun apart, pulled the bolt carrier out, which is a very simple thing to do. I'll show you here on camera. For that matter, I'll do it right now. So like ARs, there are 2 captive takedown pins. This one's hard to push without a tool. Luckily, almost anything will work as a tool. So that was not intentional. Normally I'd be doing this on a bench. So there is the hydraulic buffer that is built into this gun. That is one of the things that helps it shoot very soft. So what I did was, when I was having problems, I pulled the bolt carrier out, recoil spring and bolt carrier, wiped it all down, threw some oil on it, and then threw it back in the gun. And that got the gun back into working conditions. So it wasn't down and out, it wasn't a huge malfunction, but at 500 rounds, I should not have been experiencing that. That kind of bothers me. All right, so there it is, back together. It's still running smooth now. It was dry from the factory. Probably should have oiled it before I started. I didn't. I've done that with a lot of guns and never had a problem. It was a problem on this. So back to the trigger. Despite the fact that I was not a fan of it initially, I'm still not a fan of it. Once you get acclimated to it, you can run it fast. You can see by some of the controlled pairs I'm putting on steel, even from 30 yards on a small steel plate. Let me get the plate so you can see how big it is. So even from 25, 30 yards, this steel plate here, which is smaller than my chest, and I'm not a big man, no problem doing controlled pairs on that plate. Gun is very controllable, and again, once you get used to the trigger, you can run it plenty fast. Shoots great suppressed. Actually, it shoots better suppressed than it does unsuppressed, which is not uncommon. My ACR shoots a lot better suppressed than it does unsuppressed as well. So what are my final thoughts on this? This is definitely a gun that is out of my normal everyday price range. I would not own this if I did not get a smoking deal on it. I do like it. The recoil impulse, especially with the suppressor on this thing, is incredible. I don't like the trigger that much. I did get used to it. I would much prefer a nice, either like a Geisley 2-stage in it, or I'd even take a single stage military mil-spec AR trigger in it. I'm gonna have to look into potentially swapping this one out because I'm not a fan of this trigger. I did get used to it. I was able to run it fast. I still don't like it. Stock, I hate the adjustment on it, but once I've got it adjusted, it doesn't matter. I'm just leaving it there. If I need it to be shorter, I can do that and then fold it out for use. There's plenty of rail space. My hand did not really get hot shooting this thing, even putting lots of rounds through it. I am not the guy who shoots wearing gloves. I practice the way I do things in real life. If I have to grab a gun and run, I'm not gonna have gloves on. So it is this is the way I run things. Shoots great with a suppressor on it, shoots phenomenally with a suppressor on it, especially that Exigent Defense fire team. That can pairs with this gun fantastic. Can't say enough good things about the Exigent fire teams, for that matter, or the Vanish, or the Point Man 9. Big fan of their cans. Back to the gun. If this is something that you're in the market for, if the price tag doesn't scare you off, you will not be unhappy with this. Again, my only real complaint is going to be that bolt catch. And it might just be me. I might just be the lucky guy to get the one-off gun. So I'll do a little digging online, figure out if it's me. If it is just me, I will figure out with B&T what I can do to get it resolved. Or I might just gunsmith it myself and see what's going on. Final thoughts, great gun, kind of scary price tag. And before I shut the camera off here and stop talking, please, everybody, remember your ABCs. Always be carrying. Have your gun on you. Look at the news. Look what's going on in Minneapolis, almost all of California, Seattle, Portland, basically any big blue city. Things are jumping off again. People are getting stupid. Make sure you've got your gun on you. Watch your back. Situational awareness can keep you out of a lot of trouble before you even have to reach for your gun. But have your gun anyways, because you never know if you're going to need it. Practice your ABCs. Always be carrying. Stay safe, everyone.